Sitaram, I love you so fucking much. This life shade is always going to happen to us. There's always going to be something there that like just might trigger your wounds, that will harm you. You will cause harm. Not saying on purpose, not accusing you of like running around being a madman, even though you might be in your heart with your own self. This wounded inner child like screaming and tantruming for basic needs to be met, like love, is so sad. Oh my God. I'll never forget the first time that I did this meditation class. And it was with my professor from Rollins. Her name's Dr. Laws. She's so fucking awesome. We did meditation class at the Orlando Museum of Art. And I'm about to cry right now, thinking and remembering how my mind viciously attacked me. The most I could think was like, this is like a child that is like hungry and tired, overstimulated. Like, what a horrible response to someone who has taken them through their lives. Or have I, so to speak? Like, in what moments, like, are we truly living from the point of consciousness? Or otherwise living in a state of love, It's like those near-death experiences push you towards wisdom that leads to this, like, greater understanding of things that matter and things that don't matter. And then you, live your life from that perspective until the pain creeps back in. If you have, like, this early childhood wound shit going on, It's so hard to understand because you can't remember. And it's like you start attracting shit from that point as a baby, assuming like we're magnetic beings. And we attract our reality experience based on our shit. It starts as a baby. And I've been doing like a lot of work with trying to treat myself in those moments of like pain or anxiety with like the type of patience you would show a child. Like, I was yelled at. Many generations before me were probably like that, Like, there was this, like, fight for survival that doesn't exist in the same way, but in some ways it's gotten worse. It's like, this life shit's really intense. But we can figure out that we are the experiencer of this. We can figure out that we react to our life from places of pain subconsciously, as it is the brain's mechanism for protection, and ultimately adapted to be able to react to like what is happening, so for like in the long run. So it's like these seeds get planted and then they turn into this like prison bars. Like the mind becomes this cage and you become a slave to it. Like I live in America, so it's like if you're in this country or anywhere in like a westernized version of this, I think, through propaganda for decades, we've been systematically taught to be slaves to our mind, because in doing so, we give up a lot of personal power. And that's why this bhakti yoga practice is so potentially revolutionary, and that, we're doing devotion. We are disrupting the mind being the slave master and switching it around the way it ought to be, but rather not enslavement, fair and ethical treatment of the mind that we get to perform. Yes, we're in charge of our mind. It's not in charge of us. And on that note, let's fucking get it. Okay. I feel called to do Gayatri mantra. So let's do it. Om Bhuvasvaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dio Yona Prachodayat. Om Bhuvasvaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dio Yona Prachodayat. Bhuvasvaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dio Yona Prachodayat. One thing I'm noticing with filming that I'm appreciating is this interplay of atmospheric noise and my mind. Like, if there's sounds around me or that arise while I'm singing, those are thoughts that I'm having when I am meant to have a quieter soundscape, because that is my goal, is like this soundscape where I choose what I like turn up the volume on. Like, if all of a sudden the volume goes up real loud on like some anger, to run over to the knob, it just be like, okay, how did this get turned up? Let me turn it down while I figure out how the knob got pushed up. Because I've at this point where I feel like emotionality itself is like the soundboard. And if you've ever been to a recording studio, that shit is fucking intricate. And over time, you live your life, you set the fucking sound the fucking way, and you need it for the way your guitar sounds, the way the singer sounds, like all these little things. That's why the studio time, you pay the big bucks. They have to fucking calibrate that shit, as labor. Anyways, I'm just saying, it's like, thoughts, they're like leaves. The trees have the thoughts, And then they have to shed the thoughts to make waste of them for nutrition for the new leaves. And they just do that over and over again, and they don't complain or question it, don't they? You know, I don't know. Maybe you've seen a grumpy tree before, but I haven't yet. I'll just say this life shit could really be as simple as that. Where we're not constantly like judging ourselves and the world around us from the points that we're not, like from the suffering that we're not, from the trauma that we're not. Like, we're the shit, you know? Like, we're gorgeous, we're wonderful, we're exuberant, we're joyful. This is our birthright. Devotion to God, devotion to all this shit. And I'm just now remembering, like, I was so caught up in thought that I forgot to close out the mantra properly. You're supposed to end with Om Shanti Shanti Shanti, so let's do that. And we'll do 3 Oms just to pepper it up, yeah. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. So what I meant by pepper it up was, what I'm remembering as I was chanting that was, it is like the official thing. You start with 3 Oms, you do the mantras, you end with 3 Oms and 3 Shantis. And you gotta do Shantihi at the end of the 3rd Shanti. It's good to know the rules. And like Dr. Law said in the English class, not the meditation class, you got to know the rules to break them. And I would postulate she could say or otherwise teach the same in meditation class. You have to know the rules of this reality experience in order to know how to subvert them without fucking your shit up. You know what I'm saying? It's possible. Like, look at the world around us right now. Who the fuck knew any of this shit could be like this? Like, you know, back when I was a kid, right? I'm 40. Fucking, yeah. Anyways. Yeah, this life shit, taking it personal type shit, you know, that's not, like, we're not the meat husk. We're not the body. We're not the mind. We're not the things that have happened to this shit. We get to have a tremendous amount of peace and a consequential ability for like love, acceptance, you know, patience. Oh my God, the patience that comes with the surrender of like just being like, all right, mind, I see you, I hear you, I love you. All this shit that I've taken personally with you for all these years, I'm going to let go of its power now, or otherwise stop giving it the power of my emotions. And I'm going to love myself and you enough to fucking do that shit. To just be at peace in the moment as the awareness that I am this shit. Like I am the awareness of this shit. And then even that, it keeps going back further that I don't think my brain will ever comprehend. I don't know if it's designed to. I don't know how that goes. But anyways, I love you so fucking much. Thank you for joining me on this fucking haphazard conversation and chanting session that I do dedicate to you with all my heart and fucking soul. I love you so fucking much. Bye.